Hey, if you tried digging into GA4 and it's tough to find some of the SEO data that you're looking for, at least on a regular basis, you got to do some picking and poking and prodding. We're going to talk about how to do some custom reports, save you some time for those metrics that you're looking for on a regular basis. So let's dive in and take a look at how you can do that. All right, so we're in GA4. As you know, we can find a variety of different SEO metrics. For instance, if you've integrated the Search Console, we've talked about this before, about how important it is to actually integrate your Search Console with GA4 so that you're pulling in a lot of the metrics that you wouldn't otherwise have. So the keyword click data, the queries that Google is recording, that type of stuff. So that makes it very easily accessible in your actual reporting instead of having to go to Search Console all the time to look at that data. So you can find queries. So that's the number of people that are searching for your given keywords and clicking on them. So you can find queries in this case, so, by the keyword, and you can find the overall traffic to various landing pages, so your search traffic coming from those clicks. There are a couple other ways to find this information though. So if you go, or more other information. So if you go to acquisition, you can look at traffic acquisition. So this is a session-based metric. So this will be sessions, and we can save or create a custom report on that. Or if you want to look at user acquisition, that is also a slightly different metric. So we've talked about that in other videos, the difference between unique users and sessions. Unique users are the specific person that's coming to the site. They can come multiple times, so it's only counting them once during a given period. Whereas sessions are how many times they've come back to the site. So as you can see, and it really doesn't matter which you prefer. So in this case, we're going to take a look at sessions. So as you can see in the sessions report, you're seeing all of the different channels that Google has designated. So this is the default channel grouping. You can also look at this report by source medium. So if you wanted to do something a little bit more granular, so as far as, just seeing the different types of search engines, for instance, in this case, that are driving traffic. So if you wanted to report specifically, for instance, on Google, you could do that. In this situation, we don't necessarily need to do that. So we're going to just look at the default channel group. But the problem with this report, as you can see, is that you have a bar chart in here, which isn't super helpful. And you have all of the programs mixed in here. So if you just want to see organic search, you have to dig through this data. Now, it is helpful to see a comparison data for some of these, so you can see, how is organic search performing compared to some of the other programs. And it's especially useful if you have like conversion events that you want to track, or certain other types of events. Like if there is you want to look at add to cart or form signups, that type of stuff, you can compare those metrics here across those channels. But in this situation, if you only want to see organic search so that you can really dive into that and see the trend line of just organic search, what you can do is come up here and customize this report. And so in this report, you can get rid of the bar chart because that's not particularly helpful. And then you can also add a filter. So in this case, we're going to select the source. So we're going to say default session default channel group, and it contains organic search. Okay, we're applying that. And as you can see, now we have a trend line just for organic search. And like I said, you could break this also out by source medium and do it that way so that you could just have it look for various search engines, or specifically for Google. In this case, we just want to look at search. Now, what you can do is save this so that you don't have to keep coming back here and doing this every time you want to do a report. Is save this. And we're going to save this as a new report, and we're going to call it session SEO organic. We'll call it session organic. Okay. Now, if we had just saved it not as a new report and just saved the report as it is, it's going to look like this every time we come back. So it wouldn't have those other metrics in there that are helpful to compare. So now if you go back to the reports, acquisition. You can see this isn't in there. So where is that report we just saved? Well, you can start to create a new library for those specific metrics. So we're going to create a new one. We're going to call it organic reports, which is super creative, I know. And we're going to put session organic. We're going to do this first. And we're going to drag session organic under there. Okay. And then we're going to save that. And we're going to go back. And now we have to activate it first, which I forgot. So come back to the library. And now we have these cards. We're going to edit this. Organic reports. Okay, so we save that. And now what you have to do, which is the step I forgot, you actually have to publish this. So you have to publish it on the collection list there. All right, so now we have organic reports, and now we can build this out. So one of the things that we can also do now is if you look at other important metrics. So we looked at acquisition overview at the sessions. So we saw the sessions, and that was good. This obviously has important metrics in here that you're going to be interested in, like engaged sessions and that kind of stuff. Now, one of the things that you can do is if there are metrics in here that you're really not interested in, like, you know how we got rid of the bar chart? So you can actually go in here and continue to customize this. So, like I said, engaged sessions, that's useful. User sessions, engaged sessions per user, maybe. Events per session, I don't find that particularly useful because there's a whole lot of events being covered in GA4. It's everything from page scrolls to all of that kind of stuff that are automatic events that aren't really that compelling or interesting. So I'm not really that interested in that. Engagement rate, that's pretty good. Engaged sessions per user, I don't know that I really care about that. Event count, I don't really care about in this. Now, what I will say is those event counts and stuff, if you do want to go down and look at specific events like add to carts or something like that, you might want to keep those. In this case, I'm more interested in just conversions and revenue and then the conversion rate. So again, you can go back and change this or add those metrics at any point if you decide that you got rid of one that you wanted. And then you can go ahead and save this. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the reporting. Now, what are some other reports that are specifically for organic that are interesting for you? Well, let's look at engagement. So we're going to look at, for instance, landing pages. So where are people coming in to the site? And so you can see here, this is all landing pages. So they're coming from other sources as well. They could be coming from social media. They could be coming from paid search. It's just where they've landed on the site. And so in this case, we want to only see organic. And so what we can do is go in here and do a very similar thing. Are these the metrics that you want to see? Sure, those are probably pretty good for this situation. We want to see the contribution to revenue and that type of stuff. So that is super helpful to understand if they're actually converting on those pages that they land on. So in this case, we have the line chart and we want an added filter. And then we're going to select the dimension. So session default channel group contains organic search. All right, and this is going to process that. It's just taking a minute. And so these are the pages that have been landed on by organic search. Now, yes, there is a report in the Search Console that has something similar. It shows your landing pages. It doesn't have the revenue data integrated with that. So if we save this, we're going to save this as a new report. We're going to say organic landing page. Okay. And so we've saved that. It's saved in the library. We go back to our reporting. And again, you notice it's not in here. So we need to go back to the library. We're going to now go to the collection for organic reports. And we're going to save organic landing pages. We're going to drop that in there. And then you can order these too. So depending on which one you look at more, you can change the order of those. Save that. Save it as the current collection. Now, when we go back to the reporting dashboard, you can see the organic landing pages that we just did. And so that will show just the landing pages for organic search. And again, if you only wanted to do Google, you could do that. You could create that. You could actually do both, right? So you could create one that's all of the search engines, and then one that's specifically Google. So you can get as fine a view into your data as you want. You can add to this and customize it as much as you want. Okay, so we've got the organic sessions, we've got the organic landing pages. Okay, so now we have sessions in organic, we have the landing pages that people are landing on coming from organic search. Let's look at, if you're a retail site, the types of products people might be purchasing that come from organic. So they might be a different type of customer that you're appealing to in organic. And they may be certain types of products are ranking better in organic, which is why they're getting more purchases. So let's take a look at that. So here we have under monetization and e-commerce purchases, we have the item names and the actual items being purchased along with the revenue. So let's take a look at refining this. It's much the similar process. And we're going to look at what metrics you might want in here. So items viewed, added to cart, and the item revenue. That's pretty good. I don't know that we really want anything other than that, other than maybe conversion value. Okay, we're going to take a look at session source medium, contained organic. Let's see if that works. All right, and then let's get rid of the scanner chart because that's not particularly useful. All right, and so now we have an e-commerce purchases that are coming from organic. And so these are just those products that are getting traffic and or sales in organic. And like we did before, we're just going to save this, save it as a new report. We're going to call it organic purchases because that's super creative. Right. And if you didn't notice before, you can add descriptions here. So if you have multiple people in these reports and you're creating these custom reports and you want to explain better than what they are or what the criteria for that is, you can do that in this description. So you may want to add information about what you're filtering on just so people don't have to guess, which is always helpful when you have lots of hands in the cookie jar. And so we save that. Now, again, like we saw before, we're going to need to go in. And if you look in the organic reports, it's not there. So we just go to the library. And yes, you can do all of these at once, create the custom reports, then go in and add them to the library. That's probably how I would normally do it, but I'm just showing you kind of the process that you can use. You can edit the collection and you can scroll down and organic purchases. All right, and then you can more granularly organize these. Obviously, like I didn't have to have them under this organic reports since it says organic reports up here already. I could just put them in the general topic, but if you wanted to add something that was slightly different, you could organize that different. It's up to you and how you want to use it. So save this to the current collection. And we'll go back. And as you can see, it's there. So organic purchases, sessions, and landing pages. Now I don't have to build those out every time. I can just go report on them and they're there. Now, you can use Explorer to do some of these same types of reports where you can create custom kind of dashboard. If you've used Explorer before, it is a little frustrating. The data there only goes back 14 months if you've set it to 14 months, otherwise it's only 2. So you're limited by the data that you can look at, whereas in the custom reports, you have a little bit longer period of time that you can go back. Also, the Explorer reports are often sampled. So if you're looking at a longer date frame of data, so if you want to go back a certain period of time, if you get a lot of traffic to your site, those might be sampled. And so you're not actually looking at all of your data. You're looking at just a small amount of your data, depending on what Google thinks it should run those reports on. So those are some of the limitations of Explorer. Also, the graphing in that is not the best. It's okay graphing. It's really not great for diving into or presenting data in a graphical format. If that's what you're looking to do, Looker Studio is definitely a way to do it. We do have some videos on creating dashboards in Looker Studio and specifically for SEO. So I will put a link to those in the description. You can go check those out. But I hope this was helpful. You can do this not just with organic search. Obviously, you could go in and create any kind of custom reports that are useful. If it's certain information that you regularly look for, you can do that in here. And then also, if you have admin access, you can schedule these reports to share this. You can have it emailed. So you can schedule the email to send these reports. So if you have people on your team or in the executive group or outside vendors that need this data on a regular basis, you can schedule that and it will just send them the SEO, not all of the data. So that way, if they're only interested in that, that's all they're going to see. And we do have a video for that as well, on how to schedule those and set that up and take a look at that. And I'll put that in the description as well. If there's other stuff that you're doing for reporting that is custom and it's helping you out, we'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment and of course, stop back by and we'll have more tips in the future. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.